Hello, my name is Michael Hughes from Ontario, California. It is November of 2008, and of course behind me is an incredible project and adventure I began 2 years ago.
I think this is an outstanding idea, a very entrepreneurial intervention of what flight could be like, and I say go for it.
Again, the system itself is based almost identical to the Truax Knievel rocket. Bob Truax, which designed and built the Knievel sky cycle, patented the hot water rocket. And it's really a simple system. By producing the amount of required water temperature, which is around 525, it will produce 650 pounds of pressure inside the tank. In other words, it's like filling your air in your tire to 650 psi. Basically, what it is. The average car tire requires about 32 psi. This will have 650 psi, pounds per square inch. Combined with the proper nozzle, the proper valving, it will produce 4,000 pounds of thrust, enough to carry this actually 1/2 of a mile. Although it's only going to jump 1/4 of a mile, it will actually jump twice that distance. Okay, so we're at the Rialto Airport, and by the grace of a lot of people who owns this place and the go-kart track, the Rialto Speedway, this is where we're testing the propulsion unit for the historic jump, September 7th, which is the 35th anniversary of the Evel Knievel jump. Okay, my name is Mad Mike Michael Hughes, and it is 10 minutes after 4, April 23rd, 2009. As you can see behind me, this is the propulsion unit for my X2 Sky Limo rocket, which I will try to jump the Colorado River from Lake Havasu to the state of California, September 7th, the 35th anniversary of the Evel Knievel jump. So it's been a grind today, of course. We were trying to do this since about 10 days ago. And things keep coming up, replacing fittings, replacing gauges, and then we decided that this thing needed to be chained down to 7,500 pound K rails. So basically, there's about 22,000 pounds of weight around the rocket right now. Something that I didn't know until last night. We spoke with a gentleman that worked on the original Thunderbolt rocket, which is basically what this is, the Bob Truax steam rocket. And he stated, beside this thing being an actual bomb, if the tank explodes, that everybody needs to be about 100 feet away. So with the K rails you see on the outside of the speedway here, everybody's going to be behind the K rails, ducking, even me when I pull the switch to start this thing. And of course our lone brave cameraman is going to be somewhere back here, maybe a block or two away, I don't know, and where you can see the thing fire. And it's chained down where anything does come loose, it stays in this area, or the hopefully the tank don't explode. The tank was originally made for a Redstone missile for hydrogen peroxide, so we're kind of testing its limits here. We've decided to reduce the pressure in the tank. The pressure and the water level is exactly what Knievel and Bob Truax used the day of the Snake River Canyon jump. So that's where we're at. I think we're within 1 hour of heating the thing. We've got my electrician here, Kevin, who has wired the whole unit from scratch. And my buddy Waldo, who has helped me with, he's kind of land speed expert guy. He knows, he's tested rockets before, and this is my first time experience. So it's been quite a day. Lack of sleep. I shaved today for the first time, I think, in 3 days. I did take time to do that. So anyway, this is where we're at, and we're just, I think, a few minutes and basically starting to heat the thing. It should heat within an hour and a half. The big difference of this rocket, actually there's two differences. The heater is inside the tank. The Truax rocket, the heater was actually outside a propane burner type system, and once it heated, then Bob Truax, the gentleman that owns all the patents for this, pushes it into the propulsion tank. After that, Evil took off, I think 5 minutes, 10 minutes after that. So, I know, it seems like they even oxidize. I'm the gentleman that will attempt to recreate Evel Knievel's most famous jump of all time, the September 8th, 1974, Snake River Canyon jump. I'm going to jump on September 7th, 35th anniversary. Behind me is a propulsion unit for my rocket, deemed the X2 Sky Limo. And we're at the final phases of, we're getting ready to test this thing within a couple of hours. And it's the first time this has been tested. I believe it's the first time a steam type propulsion unit has been fired inside the boundaries of America in 34 and a half years. So it's pretty historic. Hopefully it's safe, and we're within 2 hours of it happening.
Where's the water?
Well, we must,
You got to correct that airline.
So it's got a leak of some sort.
so let's,
You see anything? We'll just see. Let's see.
just a second, let me get that pipe.
We'll take a look. We'll put more water. Ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No, I'm talking propane heater with a light.
This son of a bitch is a stainless steel heater. It's vicious looking.
See, it's working. There just
Yes.
hasn't enough pressure, and we can't tell what the hell it's doing.
No, we don't know what we're doing. I mean,
because we don't have any
Are you
data.
sure it's not too much water?
Yeah,
No, it's just about right.
So it's probably like
It's just not heating it up enough.
the coils then, right?
It's working. What we need 400 degrees.
Yeah.
Not 200 degrees, but it's starting to. See, it's getting there.
Yeah.
Is it still cool at the bottom, or was it hot?
we don't know.
You guys didn't touch it?
It was hot. It was hot, but not burning hot.
On the bottom?
You could touch it.
Well, you know what we'll do? The next test we do, we'll do it in the desert. We can stake this thing down in the desert. We'll go over to Rabbit Lake, or we'll go over to, you're going to need a gauge that fucking works, a thermometer that works, and the right pressure blow-off valve.
Right.
And I don't know how else to heat that thing. I don't know, you know, maybe if it sits for 40 minutes and it doesn't even gain 5 degrees.
3, 2, 1.
Yep, gotta go farther. The rocket at 400 degrees will become superheated water, okay? When it reaches the atmosphere, when the plug gets pulled and the water goes shooting out of the bottom, it becomes steam. and the steam expands 400 times its size, and it gives thrust to the rocket, pushes the rocket up. That's how it works.
Michael Hughes. I'm 52 years old, and behind me is my Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, my version of it. 2 years ago, I thought, what can I do to set myself apart from everybody else in the daredevil business and basically make myself financially independently wealthy? And this is it right here. It's recreating the Evel Knievel rocket jump from 1974. When I started this project, the first people I told about it was basically in belief, told me I shouldn't do it, I couldn't do it, and basically Evel didn't even want to do it the second time, so there's a reason for it. So disregarding everyone else's better judgment, made my own, here we are with the rocket that I plan to jump within the next 2 to 5 months. We have a date and a place, Lake Havasu, Arizona. I will basically jump this vehicle, which is almost identical to the Evel Knievels and the Bob Truex rocket from the Snake River 74 jump. Mine's a little longer, we'll weigh about the same, and basically the same propulsion unit, trajectory, and the length of the jump will be almost identical to Knievel's, in fact, if not further. Now the tank that's used for the propulsion unit, which is behind the mounting plate here, is a 77-gallon tank of a Redstone missile. It is a government-issued tank that was built by the government for another use. But it's the perfect size for the rocket and for the propulsion unit itself. Now, the opening of it, or the flange right here, is where the valving will go on. The exhaust cone, which come out about here, the rocket itself, which will produce, with the nozzle, the 4,000 pounds of thrust. Now, if you notice the wheels, these are not rubber wheels. These are solid aluminum wheels with a groove built into them, because this will be on a track. The Knievel rocket used basically a Cessna or a Beechcraft type of wheel and tire. Now, this thing was capable of 400 miles an hour. Now, there's no tires that are rated for 400 miles an hour. So I was thinking that basically a forged aluminum wheel running on a track is a better system. Okay, this is one of the 4 wheels that will be used on the rocket itself. This is a special forging that's used on the land speed cars that's capable of going 600 miles an hour. Of course, this will be machined with a point on it, which will run in a track, which will guide the rocket itself up the ramp, where Knievel basically had 3 wheels, which was off a Cessna or Beechcraft small plane. This will be just a solid aluminum wheels like you see on a land speed car. Basically, this will be what will propel this thing up the ramp itself. So the project itself, I couldn't start until I got a sponsor. And of course, Alliance Metals donated all the aluminum. They delivered it in a truck. I started with just flat pieces of aluminum on the ground, and I've come to this point here. The heart of the system, and the same as the Knievel rocket, is the tank, which is basically a hot water tank. That's all it is. It will produce 650 psi. The temperature of the water itself would be around 500 degrees, but combined with the right cone, the right thrust, the right rocket nozzle, produces 4,000 pounds of thrust for 4 seconds, which gives you about 4 Gs, which is enough to propel this thing almost a half a mile. Although the Knievel jump was only supposed to be a quarter of a mile, the rocket is capable of jumping basically double that if the wind trajectory and everything else works in its favor the day of the jump. Now, the diameter of the rocket itself is a little larger than the Knievel Truax rocket. Theirs was around 14.5 feet in length, 25 inches in diameter, where mine is 16 foot in length, around 32 inches in diameter. The reason I did that mainly was aerodynamics. That way my shoulders and my helmet would not be protruding out of the rocket like Knievel's was. Basically, about 2 inches of my helmet was the only thing you're going to be able to see once I'm inside the rocket. So we feel it's a more aerodynamic concept. The wings itself is almost identical to the Knievel rocket, but the sweep of the angle of the wings is identical to the one that Doug Malwicki built for Knievel originally in 71 or 72, which were the original test vehicles for the Snake River Canyon jump. Okay, I'm sitting inside the cockpit now of the rocket, which is, like I stated before, just a little bit bigger around than what Knievel's was, for several reasons. Now the event itself, this thing will be sitting, like I said, on a 53-degree angle, stationary on a ramp. And once this takes off, the wheels will be in a preset track, and basically it will shoot about, for after the 4-second burn, up to 400 miles an hour, around 2,800 feet altitude. Now, I believe the Knievel rocket was around 2,950 foot altitude because of the different, the angle, the degree of the ramp itself. You know who invented hay? Hello, Mad Mike Hughes. We're on jump location here at a secret location in Arizona, somewhere between Tucson and Phoenix. And it's the 23rd of December. I think it's around, what, 10:15, 10:30 in the morning. And we've been going since 4 o'clock this morning, starting to heat the water that's in the rocket now. And basically, this is, to me, the return to, it's like Freddie and Jason coming back the third time. This is basically me on this. So it's our third time back to the jump location. And we think it's going to happen today. It looks good. We're at 150 degrees, and we think it should be heated by 4 o'clock. And I can jump in this thing and make stunt history.
Been friends with Mike for about 6 years. When he started telling me about this rocket ship venture that he wanted to do, I've heard a whole lot of different stories and everything, but I wasn't really sure if this was for real. And the closer we get to this event, the more he's developed it, and he's an engineer. He's learned how to be an engineer in this deal. His father said, "Man, you got the nerve of Dick Tracy, you know, and he's brave like Dick Tracy." When this thing is over with, he'll be able to prove to everybody that he's not only as brave as Dick Tracy, he can beat Dick Tracy.
My name is Renee. I'm the one with the equipment. My cousin here. We actually heard, he called me up one day and asked me to build a pad. Just make a long story short, we're here and hope he does this because it's been a lot of hard work.
I'm JR and I work with Renee here. Also help put this together. We also have our other brother James that did all the welding on the tower, and like you said, it's been a lot of hard work, and hope he has a successful jump.
The thing that Mad Mike Hughes has done is that he's raced speedway, he's raced flat track, he's taken his limousine and set records and jump records with that. He's been really deeply involved in NASCAR and NASCAR teams, and he just kept thinking about making this trip up in the air in a long jump. He was a fan of Evel Knievel. A lot of people were fans of Evel Knievel when they're kids. They're doing jumps on their bicycles and everything. And when Evel made that attempt on the Snake River, this was a really big thing, and it was something in the back of his mind for a really long time. And Robbie Knievel had talked about, redoing the jump and this and that. And there's a lot involved where you're not able to actually get the same location. He really doesn't know exactly where this jump is going to be, but it's going to be high and it's going to jump a long ways. There's several different locations. We might see him do the Snake River. At this point, we're not really sure. But we're at this test location, and it's not just a test to jump a rocket. He's going to be in this rocket.
The rocket too. What? Heat inside the rocket. Probably 5 or 10 degrees.
Tell us where you're at right now.
Shit City.
Alright, what's going on?
Basically, we are in the middle of the afternoon trying to fire this thing. We're about 190 degrees away from doing this thing. to 200, and it's stopping right now as far as heating up. We're at 100 degrees pressure on a part of the tank and about 20 on the back of it, and the temperature's about 260 now, and it's just stopping.
And the ambient temperature and the wind?
Yeah, I think that actually yesterday the temperature was almost 65 degrees with no wind. Today it seems like it's maybe 15 degrees cooler and it's wind, which it affects. As you can see here, we got a vortex going. We're trying to cover the rocket, keep the flame from going up or away from heating the tank, and I even got to a point where I was directly heating the tank, which is not a good thing, believe me, okay? But
How much propane and how much pressure do you have as a result?
I think we've probably went through somewhere easily 25 gallons of propane, which is way too much. When I fired it at full force at my house one day, of course it was 105 degrees that day, okay, with no wind, and it took 12 to 15 gallons of propane. I fired it off with 4,000 pounds of thrust, but of course it's 105 degrees that day. Today I woke up and started at 4, maybe 10 or 15 minutes after 4, and it was 40 degrees out here, okay? And I came out here and started heating the tank to 180, and once you put the 180 degree water straight into the tank and the rocket tank is 40 degrees, okay? So then it knocked the temperature down to 100 degrees, so we've been building from that. And actually we got to 180 degrees pretty quickly. We thought it was going to be in good shape, you know, for the time frame, and it just stopped now. I don't know. Basically, I think what we really need to do, and it's been suggested to me, is we need to tie in 3 of these propane heaters, the propane tanks together, and then run them into one line, and that way they're not freezing over. For anyone, which most people is not going to, that wasn't here today to see what was going on, we had 3 tanks freeze up today. They just got cold, so they quit pulling propane at about 5 gallons, which is they were still half full. They had ice on them, so we kept switching the tanks around, and we're getting good results, but they've got to be all tied together. And I got up here and I couldn't even find the fitting I needed. I did all the copper lines to do all this, and there was just nothing up here to piece them all together. It's a piece of American history that I think is getting ready. Hopefully we can finish what Knievel started. The whole Snake River Canyon thing, which is where everybody wants to jump. Right now, someone has won their bid to jump the thing within 2 weeks. Yeah, I think personally the guy's going to default on it. There's no multi-million dollar sponsor on there for this thing. It just ain't going to happen. I don't think a network's going to want to pay $2 million for this thing. And I'm the only guy in the world that's got a rocket. So they had 5 bidders on this thing, 2 weeks ago in Boise, Idaho, and I wasn't one of them, so I don't know how that makes any sense. So we'll see what happens on the thing. I think it's going to think should fly like an arrow, and I think it's a lot more aerodynamic than Knievel's rocket, and should have a successful jump tomorrow. But yeah, it's just like everything else. A good friend of mine told me once, it's a rocket scientist, he said, to do something extraordinary takes an extraordinary effort, you know, and that's what this thing has been. I mean, I thought about giving up 100 times, believe me, I was just done. I lost track about 3 years ago of my internet research at 1,500 hours. 1,500 hours. 3 years ago, I just said, fine, I just kept lost track of it. So who knows how many hours I got researching this thing. Plus building this thing, almost everything on the rocket has been redone 3 times. And of course, you see what's happening with the ramp right now. It's just an extraordinary thing to do, you know. And it's easy to talk about doing it, like everything else in life. But man, once you do it, you know, or try to do it, you go, wow. And there's a reason why in 39 years and 2 months, no one's done this. You know, I'm living out here. Now, I'm serious. I'm a limousine driver for a living. You know, I dress in a tuxedo half of my life. You know, and I'm out here living like a caveman. I've been living in that limousine there, which is my personal car, for 6 nights now. And I start here at 6:30 in the morning. Once it gets dark, you got to stop. You know, we finally got a generator out here yesterday. Yeah, I wanted this thing done a week ago, but it just wasn't in the cards. We'll probably have the ramp done in about 3 hours. The rocket will be down the hole. Then I'll start working back on the rocket again. We'll start putting the water in tonight and start heating it up tomorrow, maybe 6 in the morning.
What pressure are you going to get up to?
420 is the pressure.
How much
with
water
the water
goes in the tank?
I'm going to start with 55 gallons. I think the Knievel jump was 50, but the extra weight, you know, this thing will expel about 13 and 1/3 gallons of water every second.
We'll pull this thing out and just see if it'll. Ain't going nowhere, Mike. How many more?
It's only like 5 gallons in here.
It looks like we're within 30 minutes of launch time. At this interview now, we're at 400 psi. We're 20 pounds away from being at launch pressure, which basically dictates the thrust this thing puts out for 4 seconds. So anyway, it's quite a moment. You know, you don't know if, what your reaction should be or how you should feel, but I got a good team here helping me, and without them, I couldn't have done this thing. But it's been 6 years of just unbelievable. I don't want to call it stress. It's just to do something extraordinary takes an extraordinary effort. But man, just to get into that destination is trying. So, you know, people talk about chasing dreams and rainbows during their life, but man, that gets very tiring and expensive.
Well, that's good. But he landed where he wasn't. Where he landed? He wasn't planning on.
Oh, it's okay.
He landed on his side.
Inside my leg, feel like guys, you want to know the fucking force that is?
Would this be better if it was closer to the ground?
Ow, I'm fucking really. I pulled both joints myself.
From the harness?
Yeah, from the harness.
Yeah. You got water in the Ranger?
Go get some water, so.
I'm gonna take the Ranger to get him water.
And grab those blankets that's on the couch. Don't get upside down.
There's the wreckage.
Oh.
In front of the rocket.
One of the things he's talking about is shoulder and his pelvic.
Your feet are free.
He thinks maybe he injured his groin, and
So what we
right now just trying to try to maybe get him out. His neck seems all right. He said if he hadn't had the neck brace on, he said he would be done. That's quite a ride.
All right, Michael. Can you pick your leg up, Mike, if I help you?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Room as you got. Now, if we can pull you out.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'm hurt.
Okay, we're just gonna lay you down just for a second. Mike, can you pick up your head a little bit?
Just hold right there and kind of pour it in there, bro.
Okay.
Open your mouth, Mike.
Open your mouth. Open your mouth.
Just open your mouth. That's all you got to do. Just open
Just move my head right now.
No, just open your mouth. He's
Open your
gonna.
mouth.
That's the reason you came down so fast. Was only one chute holding. That's why you hit so hard.
Yeah.
But it worked.
What do you want? You want to try to stand up?
So if he feels up to it.
That's money right there.
That saved his life.
Ready? 1,
You got that bad shoulder.
3.
If you can, try to lean against the rocket. We got you.
I don't know where I'm at.
Okay, I got you. Just take a couple steps back. Okay, ready, Mike? 1.
I'm gonna pick you up.
2.
Watch it. Watch his other.
Watch your noggin, Mike.
Actually, my neck's doing fine
Fine.
now.
Is it doing okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take him up to the motorhome.
Okay.
Are you ready to go for a ride, buddy? Hey, we need to see if we can get like a way to measure how far he went. Look at how far the ramp is, Sammy. Dammy. Michael. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling better. The crotch strap about did me in, and my head hit so hard. I don't know.
It's a Rye helmet. That's the reason you
Yeah.
survived.
Who's got my helmet? Yeah, thanks for my Rye helmet, and my neck brace saved my life.
Michael,
Whatever that's worth at this point.
how
I'm
was the
57 years
acceleration,
old.
Michael?
I have never in my life felt anything like that. I mean, you know what surprised me, and I want to say this, and this is the problem. The linkage that I had manufactured and fabricated to actuate the rocket, my one hand wasn't strong enough to pull it. And it took both hands, which means
Sammy, turn the Ranger off. Just turn the key off.
which means I am basically pulling 4 G's with my hands off any handles, and luckily I could get my right hand back to the main chute, which is the one operated by the rocket, which did work. I think I pushed the second one on the way down because it felt like I was going too fast, and it never came out, obviously. But man, I don't know if I'd wish this on anybody. Maybe this is the reason Evil only did it one time. And it's the world's longest jump of any kind from any stuntman in the history of stunts. So I don't know. I don't think anybody can top this. I don't know how you're going to do it.
When Michael landed, he was actually capsized upside down. We rolled that over, got him on his side.
Yeah, we are. Here I am with Mad Mike Hughes, the day after the jump, and he's on his back. Mike, can you kind of give us an idea how you're feeling today?
Yeah, I've had better days. Okay, basically, we had a nurse come look at me last night. Unbelievable pain from my groin all the way up to my chest. It is unbelievable how disillusioned you get that doing something like that. It's just disillusioned. I never heard the rocket. The strangest thing, I didn't hear the rocket take off. All that sound was behind me. I heard air. I heard the rocket going through the air. That's strange.
You had a close call with a leak at the top of the steam rocket tank.
Yeah, that was really touch and go yesterday. Of course, when this thing is heating up, you got propane, we got electricity to it, so it's making noise. Once we turned off everything yesterday, we found out we actually had a small leak on the filler cap, which was welded, and it was losing pressure. So basically, steam vapor at that pressure could cut a finger off. So basically, I sat down in front of this thing not knowing if it was going to get me in the back of the helmet, the neck, or whatever. Yeah, it was touch and go yesterday. I don't know if another person on this planet would have sat in front of that rocket yesterday. Because I had my second thoughts yesterday. I really did. Hello everyone, Michael Hughes, and I'm on the outskirts of Apple Valley where I live here in They call it the high desert in Southern California, which is a few miles from Victorville. And we're about, for the people that goes to Southern California, we're about 30 miles from the Cajon Pass, which is a big road that takes you down into Southern California. This is where everything takes place. This is where the X2 Sky Limo was completed. And we built everything, the ramp for the jump that we did January 30th. As of January 30th of this year, I became the second person ever in stunt history to strap themselves inside of a steam rocket and attempt to jump, launch themselves off a ramp. The other person being Evel Knievel, September 8th in 1974, and of course mine was almost 40 years later. And I went up going a total of a distance of 1,374 foot, which was measured by laser pointers from the ramp to where I landed, and also from where I landed back towards the top of the ramp, and which became the longest and I think the most extreme jump in stunt history. And when I hit the ground at such force, I had a canopy over me that was clicked in with special fasteners. It hit so hard, it popped the top off the rocket, which I didn't know at the time, went 20 foot up in the air and landed in a tree that was next to where I landed with the rocket. Because then the rocket, after it hit, it fell over and my head hit the dirt, my helmet. And I thought, why is my helmet hitting the dirt? Because I got a canopy over me. Finally, it's jump day. It's June 28th. It's on a Saturday. It's about 4:20, and we're about 2 hours and 25 minutes from jump time. We're at 400 psi. I turned the heater off because we were going to build the pressure too soon that we need to launch this thing. So it's off right now for probably about 30 minutes or an hour. And right now we're just hoping for the wind to die down.
They land? Yeah. Sounds like it.
That helped a bunch, just laid me over.
Okay. Did it go away?
The vertigo?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we gotta let you back till we get you out of here.
I know.
Okay.
Go ahead, just lay me back.
All right, back.
Get me strapped in so we can...
Yeah, get out of here. Right.
Michael, tell us what happened.
I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, we were just about 20 pounds away from the pressure we needed. We was going to make the deadline from 6:45 to 7 to launch this thing for the internet and for the live viewing in the outside of LA. And one of my helpers was on the rocket. He was trying to adjust something. It rocked the rocket and released the holding mechanism, and the rocket launched by itself. So basically, I haven't seen it yet. It's probably totaled the rocket, and we've got, in fact, one person got hurt, and they've had to airlift him out. And they had to airlift him out of here, and it basically, I got hit with part of the plume from the rocket nozzle, and it blew me kind of out of the hole we got the rocket in, and it blew the cell phone on me. of my pocket. So it's been just a very unfortunate accident.
We're gonna go look at the rocket now.
Yeah, we're gonna go try to find the rocket. I don't know. I'm just sorry for the people that's came on the internet pay-per-view, but this is not an easy thing to do, and this is why it's taken so many years for me to do it, and I just did it once. It's unfortunate, but you can't. When these things are held down like that, it started being rocked, and it launched it. It just launched it.
Shit like that, I've seen so much shit like that happen, man. I keep calm, you know what I mean? I call 911.
I know, you're fucking cool. We were a calm guy.
Holy crap. That had to have been where.
Oh, the circumference for the whole vehicle.
The length of it.
Oh yeah, the length. You're looking at about 6 foot.
Out of 15, right?
Yeah. So let's see. Gerald was here. Gerald was here when we came down. He was about here. And when he went to crawl off of it, he rocked it, and that wing is what hit his ankles, because his right ankle was bent to the right, and I don't know if maybe when he hit ground, his left one snapped, because his left one, both his feet were facing opposite direction. Both compound fractures. The left way worse than the right, but the right was also a compound fracture, and he had a gash on the back of his right leg above his knee. Mike, it hit here. It hit here so hard, it drove the guide rail into the ground. We haven't messed with it. I don't even know how far it's in.
Holy shit!
It hit there, and it had to have bounced. It had to have hit and flipped one time and landed there.
How far do you think we are from it?
Half a mile, easy. Right, Don?
Yes, absolutely.
Guesstimating?
Yeah, because I marked 17, and it was
on the other side of the ridge.
I heard someone say 7.
So this is way past that.
It inside out, or outside in. From how long was it, Mike? 15 feet?
Foot.
Down to about 6 feet. I mean, I don't even know how far this guide rail is in the ground.
Look at that, Area 51 right there.
Yep.
Oh, you can't even pull it. Look at that. It's like dry. It drove. It literally. That thing could be in the ground 2-3 foot. Blood didn't start falling until he was actually laying on the ground. Then it was rolling down.
You know, with it being bent that much, why didn't the thing spin? Or
because he had the guide. That kept it from spinning.
Oh.
That guides it up the ramp. But
guides it up.
What made it get this far off to the right, though?
I don't know.
Of course, like I said, this thing, the CG is off without my weight in there.
That's true, Mike. I mean, look how far it drove.
Oh, that's.
Here's the line that I marked right at the ground.
Holy cow!
You figure that's about a foot, right?
Yes. It sheared the whole goddamn thing.
You figure there's about a foot, right?
Yeah.
2 foot.
Hey, we found the rock.
I bet you about 2 foot.
Almost
2 foot 8,
three, yeah.
210, 2 foot 10 inches.
So where do you think the impact was right there?
Oh yeah, that's where it hit.
Yeah.
Had to have, because it wouldn't have drove that guide rail in there.
Yeah.
It hit so hard.
Then it just
Bam, drove it right in the ground.
So we went down around the right, around the ravine, and it's back to the left. So it's actually way past the place where it was supposed to land, because it was 175 pound lighter.
Sweet.
faster way than. So it definitely went.
Hello, Letty. How are you?
Half a mile. We're definitely.
Well, I wasn't in the rocket. One of the guys helped me was looking at the gauges. Okay, someone rocked the rocket and it actuated the not the plunger, but the chains that hold it in place, and let it launch by itself.
I just kind of finished rolling it over.
Yeah.
You know what? It might be better to drag it that way.
Yep. On the fins,
because everything's facing up. It won't hang up on nothing.
He's trying to save the rod out there. It's like too bad you can't disconnect it.
Or you got it? Oh, it's already in there.
I'm here with Mad Mike Hughes in Baker, California.
Yeah, imagine that, man. The world's tallest thermometer.
How was your trip?
Actually, it's been pretty smooth so far. I always stop at Baker. I never get gas there because it's too damn expensive. It's a good place to stop. And I want to let the car cool off because now we got the Baker grade, which is like about 20 miles and nothing, but you know, it's a big grade and it's tough on cars, especially pulling a trailer.
So you have your limousine here.
Yeah, it's a part-time truck. It never was intended for that, but that's all I've got. Well, so basically we're on the way to Las Vegas. It will be on display at the Plaza Hotel and Casino the whole weekend. So this is the only way I had to get it here. I mean, that's just, it is what it is.
And what's going on in Las Vegas?
This Saturday and Sunday we have a Flat Earth the Matrix Expo, and I'm going to host it, and we've been working on it for several months. And the rocket is going to be at the front of the Plaza Hotel.
Right there in front.
Oh, right there in front. Yeah. So if you want to know what the place is, if you look at the music video Monster Magnet called Space Lore, that's where they filmed it at. That's where the rocket's going to be sitting. This is a rocket that I launched March of last year, and it's been completely rebuilt and repainted, of course. The nose is about a foot longer. The back of it is about another foot longer. We've replaced the seat, and of course I said you know, the bottom wings were crushed. We replaced those and strengthened everything basically. We're going to put about 23 more gallons of water at this time, so the craft will probably weigh about 1,800 pounds at launch. And,
what's your target altitude?
1 mile.
1 mile?
Yeah, 1 mile altitude, yeah. So anyway, we're on our way to Vegas, and we're getting ready to hit the road again. We took the top heater element out of it, which is right here, and I checked it and cleaned it, put it back in, resealed it. I didn't even take these out, but I did strengthen this up. This was bent on the parachutes last time. They bent the motor plate. So we didn't discover that till about a week ago. But this is something we did here. This is a ring that helps control the rocket. So after when it launches, it catches the water vapor and steam, it helps straighten it up.
Well, Amboy was good for us. We did a lot there. We did a lot of testing, a lot of failures, or a lot of problems.
Yeah, we had a lot of issues with the rocket at Amboy.
Leaks, generators. We couldn't get enough power, but we always seemed to overcome it. We kept plugging away at it.
Yeah, we burnt up generators. We did. Actually, Elon Musk ain't got nothing on us as far as failures go. We were there. We probably had about 6 or 7 cancellations overall.
And we're working in terrible conditions. It's 115 degrees.
Can't touch anything.
We're working around steam. Yeah, it was pretty tough for the whole crew. But we hung in there.
Finally, we got the rocket ready to launch and put Mike in it. And he hits the launch button. Go!
down speed-wise? How am I coming down over?
You're looking good. A little fast, baby.
You think a little fast? Shoot! Jake, hit the chute! Shoot!
Throw the other chute.
Mike is in a panic. He's in the cockpit. He's like, I think he wants this all to end. And so he reaches over and he pulls the parachute line. The parachute line is also hooked to all that device I just told you about. So once he pulls the parachute line, the movie films the parachute coming out. Then it goes back to Mike. And Mike, and behind Mike's right shoulder, there's a puff of smoke. What that is the device saying the rocket has reached apogee. Deploy the parachute. See what I mean? So I knew these things worked, and they worked well. When Mike got down, he said, "That damn thing almost killed me, man. It threw the parachute prematurely because the parachute came out before the rocket was not done accelerating, and it got behind and act like a drag chute on a dragster. Then it flipped over. Luckily, it didn't fall into the parachute." Now, Mike had another one of those chutes, but he didn't want to deploy because he didn't want to waste the money that it cost. So I told him, I said, you know, I'll tell you something. Don't use one chute. Use both chutes at altitude. Okay, don't just. And he was worried about crossing the line, the border, where the Bureau of Land Management would arrest us. There were so many things as to what was going on. It wasn't just a simple thing.
It doesn't, you know, as far as the feeling today, you know, it's like every day you think you're going to do one of these things. You know, you change kind of the way you eat, you try to take in a bunch of water, you went to bed differently, you woke up differently. You know, I woke up 3:30 this morning, left the house at 5 minutes after 4, drove 2.5 hours, you know what I mean?
This is the day.
I think it's the day it's going to launch, yeah. And when I got here, I was getting ready to pull the plug again. It was hot in there. I thought, it's the same stuff we had last week. But now I think we've overcome that now. So,
How high do you expect to go today?
I honestly think it's going to reach about 4,500 feet. Yeah, it could go farther.
How many gallons of water are we putting in the rocket
There's
today?
95 gallons in it.
And we're going to 350?
Yeah.
That's target temperature?
That's the target pressure.
Pressure.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is why I don't even pay attention to the temperature. I had no idea what the temperature is.
Pressure. Yes.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of people here today. Checking it out here in Amboy.
I guess, yeah. You know, you guys remember you're in the middle of nowhere, you know.
Amboy, California.
Hello, it's Wednesday, about 3 days before launch time, which will be Saturday, February 22nd, outside of Barstow, California. I'm Mad Mike Hughes in Apple Valley, California. Behind me is the rocket I will climb into and launch myself to achieve hopefully a 1 mile altitude and around 425 mile per hour top speed with a with a 5,000 to 8,000 pounds of thrust 5.2 at the start, and once it runs out of fuel, 4 seconds later, it'll be up to 8,000 pounds of thrust, or actually 8 G's at that time. So yes, it's going to be quite a ride. So you know, we do this hopefully to inspire other people to do other things with their lives.
He told me his last words to me were, Waldo, when we said a prayer and I gave him a hug just before he went up in there, I go, hey, let's just stop the launch and let's put those shoot deployment devices in there. And the last thing he told me was, Waldo, I'm a goddamn daredevil. If I can't throw those shits, I deserve what I get. I said, okay, hot dog, have it your way. Mike did things nobody could do, nobody would do. You see, even Evel Knievel had 2 rockets. He launched the one over the canyon. They still had another one left. He could have jumped that canyon again. He never did. No. You know why? He knew better. Okay, he knew better. Yeah. What actually happened with Evel Knievel, I don't care what anybody says, Robert Truex told me himself, and he was a friend of mine, he said, Waldo, when that rocket hit, when he hit the fire button, it freaked Evel Knievel out so bad, he let go of the dead man control that blew the parachute. So the parachute was coming out on the launch ramp. He said, I told everybody it was 3 pins that failed and all this stuff. So I didn't. He goes, I didn't want to be sued by Evel Knievel because he's that kind of guy. He goes, and I didn't want to tarnish his daredevil, persona. So he said, but he goes, anybody would have let go of that hand, anybody. But the Amboy flights, I thought that was the end of it.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, okay, a good example was before he launched at Amboy. See, people don't realize Mike didn't fly that rocket once. He actually flew it 3 times, and they had 4 launches. One launch when the rocket got away from Winkleman, Arizona. See, when Mike first was going to launch, all he wanted to do was do a distance jump to show that he could out-jump Evel Knievel.
Yeah. It's been 5 years since the accident, and I was there. I was there the day with him. I was the one on the radio with him. We launched him. The launch was semi-successful. We had some issues on the launch ramp. One of the chutes did come out. It pulled him off to the side, which I thought he was going to stick it out in the desert. But it turned and righted itself and went straight up. In fact, he went up above the clouds, and we lost him for a bit. I started yelling parachutes. Pull the chutes, Mike. Pull the chutes. Then when he came back around and through the clouds, he was heading to the ground, and I was screaming shoots, and he never responded. I never heard another word out of him.
It's almost 5 years since the accident that took Mike's life. And when he died, I was getting a lot of garbage about, it being my fault, blah, blah, blah. I ended up going to Australia for a few weeks to chill out. I spent 2.5 weeks drunk on a beach in Australia. That's how I got over losing my friend Mike. Mike left a legacy that people may not even understand. So the thing about it was what Mike taught the world, whether they realize it or not, is you can do anything. If you put your mind to something, you can do anything. Here's a guy who's living out of his car, and 3 years later, he's known around the world. If that's not a legacy, I don't know what is.